Hey friends, welcome back to our Advent Christmas story time. I'm so glad you're here. As you can see, Thea is still dressed up in her festive sweater. Thea, how are you? How's your Christmas going so far? Well, Christmas Advent going so far. Hi everyone. It's going really well. I've been having so much fun baking cookies and delivering presents. But you know what? I have also made time for devotionals, and that's been really great. And I feel as if I am being able to remember to think about Jesus more this season, and that Christmas is all about him. And so I feel like I'm doing better. Oh, that's great, Thea. I'm so glad. Well, I'm really excited to share with you all, and you, Thea, some of you may have read this book before. It's called Song of the Stars. Ooh, that looks lovely. I don't think I've ever read this story. Okay, well, it's by Sally Lloyd-Jones, and someone painted pictures for this named Alison Jay. And I would love to read it with you now because it is a really fun book, beautiful book, and there's going to be lots of animals in this too, Thea, so I think you will especially like this. Okay, so it's called Song of the Stars. The world was about to change forever, and it almost went by unnoticed. But the leaves that night rustled with a rumor. News rang out across the open fields. A song drifted over the hills. The wind whispered it softly in the sycamore trees that waved their moonlit branches to the sky. A barn owl took flight. Woodland creatures stirred. It's time. It's time. In the pine woods, 2 deer raised their heads. A big brown bear sniffed the air. A red fox darted. The faces of little flowers lifted to the skies. It's time. It's time. The skies shouted it to the seas, that thundered it to the waves, that roared it to the great white whales, that sang it to the starfish in the deep. And tiny sandpipers danced it on shining sands. It's time, it's time. The running rivers bounded over boulders, and the otters clapped and played and sang to the ducklings that splashed and quacked, to the salmon that leaped and leaped. And tiny field mice and insects and little creeping things and sparrows and robins, and every single blade of grass squeaked and hummed and chirped and sang. It's time, it's time. Wild stallions drummed it to the ground. Get ready, be glad, be glad. On a lonely peak, a lion raised his strong head and roared it out to the empty wilderness. The mighty king, the Prince of Peace. All the stars joined together in a chorus that rang out through the heavens, the bright and morning star. And on a hillside overlooking a little town, sheep nuzzled their new lambs. The Good Shepherd. Suddenly angels lit up the whole sky, and a great choir sang it out loud. It's time, he's come, at last he's here. And in the little town, in a little shed, in a little window, a candle flickered in the dark. And a tiny cry rang out in the cold night air. And high above, a single star set in the highest heavens shone out brighter than all the others, and poured down silver onto the little shed, a light to light up the whole world. The animals stood around his bed, and the whole earth and all the stars and sky held its breath. The one who made us has come to live with us. And the young mother, with no place to rest, nowhere to stay, kept it as a song inside her heart, our rescuer. And they gazed in wonder at God's great gift, lying on a bed of straw, wrapped in rags, a tiny little baby. Heaven's son, sleeping under the stars that he made. Wow. What a beautiful book, wasn't it? What do you think, Thea? It was really lovely. I mean, I, of course, loved all the animals, and I love how even they were celebrating Jesus coming. They were. And did you notice, friends, how it talked about Jesus being our gift? Yeah, I do remember that part. Well, I think it's a great reminder of that Jesus, we celebrate Jesus' birth, and at Christmas and in Advent we prepare for his coming. And I think it's really helpful to remember that as we're buying presents for other people or giving presents or receiving presents, to remember that the greatest gift of all was Jesus. That's right, it was Jesus, is Jesus. And that can be the reason, is the reason we give gifts to one another, is recognizing that we were given the greatest gift of all. And that gift is Jesus. Oh, wow, that's lovely. So as you go about this next week, let's keep remembering the love that God showed to us by giving us the gift of Jesus. All right? And we will see you again next week for another story. Bye.